So for this project, I'm demonstrating, I'm building an e-commerce data analysis program using Python and Pandas. And the data that I'm using is from Kaggle, a fictional, the called Ecom, a fictional e-commerce data. And the questions that I aim to answer is number one, what is the country that generated the biggest sales? Number two, in France, which gender has higher average spending, male or female? And then the last question is, which month in 2024 generated the lowest sales? So if we run the code, this is the schema, by the way. If we run the code, and the results that we'll see is that for question number one, which country has the biggest sales? The answer is Germany. That's verified as well here, and we'll see in the code later. And for question two, which gender has the higher average spending in France? Higher, the answer is females in France have a higher average spending, which is shown here, 158.84 for females and 158.29 for males. And for the last question, the month with the lowest sales in 2024 is found to be October 10th. Please note that in the data, the last order, or the last recorded order, the latest recorded order is from October 2024. So we only have until October or number 10 for 2024. And the sales is 589.67. So let's examine the code to see how this was done. Okay, so you need to install Pandas. And I have a function here that converts numbers to currency format. So there are two decimal places and a dollar sign and a comma separator. And then this one is extracting data from the file customer list. This is where I need the country from and the gender. And then another extraction from the orders, which holds the general information about the orders when they were purchased, the customer IDs, and things like that. So I had to parse the dates so that I can filter out the years and the months and organize it by years and months. And then another data is from the payments so that I can extract the value of those orders. So I can calculate the total sales, something like that. So for the first question, I had to merge orders and customers to end payments. So orders and customers so that I can get the country and then the payments for the value. And then I group it by the customer country and then get the sum of the payment values. And I also did some sorted it by value, ascending also. So it's descending order from highest sales to lowest sales. And that's what you see here, highest sales to lowest sales. So it shows Germany. But there's also another way where you can just get the ID of the one with the maximum value, which index has the maximum value. And that is shown here as Germany. And its value is, for this code, max. For question number two, which gender has the highest higher average spending? So similar method of merging, but this time I'm filtering it by the country France. So I'm only getting orders from France and merging it with payments based on the orders from France. And then summing the payment values of that, since I'm only have results from France. And then I can get the sum, which is this one. But I want the ones from females and males separated. So for females, I just need to filter out the France orders by the gender female. And for males, then it's over here. So I'm getting the totals just to verify. And so the sum, to get the total sales for female, I get it. I'm using the sum. And for males too, the sum. Just to verify that the numbers I'm getting is really for France and female, males and females. So if you add these two, then you get the France sales total. So that makes me think that my numbers are correct. My calculations are correct. But what I really need is the average spending. So at least I know now that the list that I have, this sales female is the correct, they are the correct list. So I'm getting the total sales from female France females in France and males from France. So for the average spending, instead of sum, you just get the mean of that column. So that's the same for our males. And that's where we got these results from for comparison. And then for the, this is just printing the results. If the average for females is higher, then print this out. It's a higher average spending. Otherwise, it's males. And the last question is question number 3, which month generated the lowest sales? So in this case, I don't need the country anymore. So I'm only merging orders and payments. So in this case, so those are the paid orders. And I do need to sort out the year. Since the question is for 2024, then I have to filter out the year. It's 2024. And then I can, I did this sort value. So just so I can see what the last transactions were and listing it down using .tail, the tail function. That's how I was able to see these. At first, it was just only 3, but so I wasn't sure. I increased it to 5 just to show. Okay, so the last orders were really from October 10. And the sum of this is this number. So I'm again, I could say that my calculations are correct. So so that now that I have verified my 2024 orders, I can now sort them by month. And from that, I'm grouping them by month and getting the sum since I'm getting the total sales, which I rename for column for presentation. And then just like with the males and females, I can get the ID of the one with from the country question. I can get the ID of the one that has the minimum value, and I can get the minimum value of that column. So it does show that the minimum value is this, and this ID is which is shown here. So the month with the lowest sales system and the value of it is 589.67. And that's the end of my demonstration. Thank you for watching.